Hello, everybody, and welcome to tonight's live broadcast from the Life of a Utah Medium. I am your host, Caden, and welcome to tonight's second live broadcast episode here live on Spreaker. If you are live listening tonight and you have an account here on Spreaker, you can go ahead and chat with me here on the chat room. If you are not an active user on Spreaker yet, if you don't have your account set up, you can do that while we're talking on this episode, and then the chat feature will be available for you there. Otherwise, as always, I will have my phone on me as we're doing the live broadcast from my phone for now. And so you can always text me if you have my number, or send me a message on Facebook as well, and I will be happy to chat with you that way. So, welcome to the show, guys. It has been an absolutely insane week. If you are not listening to the podcast, first of all, you should be. We have a lot of fun on there. Excuse me. The podcast is following my life as a medium in the state of Utah, as is the radio show. And so, it's fun to kind of broadcast as often as I get to. I try to do a podcast every day, Monday through Friday. In the case of last week, I'll kind of explain why we didn't get to do that last week. But I will do a podcast, and we'll talk about that schedule tonight and kind of catch everybody up on the event dates and all that fun stuff, and then we'll jump into tonight's topic. So, first of all, thank you so much, everybody, for listening in. Thank you for all of the support on the podcast, on the show, on the Facebook page. It has been it's been a lot of fun to watch this thing grow and develop, and we'll see all of the followers on it. So, what I'd like to do on the podcast, I'm going to start doing here on the show as well. So at the beginning of the episode, I am going to update everybody on life, because this is the Life of a Utah Medium. Kind of update everybody on where we're at with life and kind of how things have been, and then we will discuss a paranormal topic, whether that be a guest or, a subject that's come up throughout the week. So let's talk about this last week, guys. For everybody that listens to the podcast, you already know this. If you don't listen, here's some new information for you. So when I say my life is insane, we've got a fun life. I don't get things easy. We get to have a lot of surprises, and some of them can be fun and some of them cannot be. So we, all four of us in the house, have been in the hospital in the last week, and it's been a wild ride. So Sunday, everybody knows that last Sunday I was run over by the row of shopping carts at Winco. And so I went in and had my back looked at Sunday. And then Monday, we were in the hospital with my wife having issues with her gallbladder. And then on Wednesday, we were in the hospital with the 5-year-old who had her appendix out. And so we spent Wednesday, Thursday in the hospital with her. Friday, we ended up back at Primary Children's just for a follow-up eye appointment for our 2-year-old. And then just a couple days ago, we ended up back in the hospital with my wife having more gallbladder problems. So it's not a quiet life. It's pretty busy. And on top of that, we're trying to run businesses and keep things going. And in the process of setting up a couple of different business options. We've already got some going, and looking at the possibility of opening up a couple others. So it's definitely fun. It's definitely busy, and I wouldn't change it for the world. It makes life what it is. So, as far as events and that kind of lineup goes, it's been a few episodes, I believe, since we updated that. So let's talk about the events that we got coming up, what the schedule is going to look like for readings, kind of what my schedule is going to look like going forward for now, and then we will chat forward. So the first thing to talk about, let's talk about event schedule, because we do have a few coming up. We have talked about the Benson Gristmill investigation that's coming up in 2 weeks. That will be on the 27th out at Benson Gristmill. That is hosted by Advanced Paranormal. The tickets are available for that on the Advanced Paranormal website. And that will be a Paranormal 101 presentation class where they'll kind of discuss all things investigating. And then at the end of that presentation, then you will get to investigate Benson Gristmill. And if you haven't been there, I highly recommend it. Go out with the guys that and gals that go out and know what they're doing. Been there before, know the place like the back of their hands. And go spend an hour listening to the presentation, listening to evidence, and kind of getting some direction from the team. After that, on the 28th, is when we will be out there for our reception. So if you're interested in coming out and seeing Benson Gristmill in the daylight hours, we'll be out there from 11 to 1. Everybody's welcome to come out and say hi and, just check out the mill during the day. Then October 18th, we have the gallery reading session with myself and Esther Graves. And that will be at Synchronicities. That will be from 7 to 9 p.m. Tickets for that are $40 a piece. And you can purchase those tickets from either myself or Esther, or you can also purchase them the day of the event at Synchronicities. So if you're interested in coming out for a gallery reading session, definitely come participate in that. That's going to be a blast. That will definitely be one not to be missed. And then after that, we have October 25th and 26th back at Benson Gristmill. The 25th, I will be out there doing a gallery reading session, and then we'll do an investigation afterward. And then the next night, Saturday night, they will do another presentation followed by another investigation. So you'll get a chance to investigate the mill both Friday and Saturday night, the 25th and 26th. The tickets for all of that are going to be available on advancedparanormal.com. And if you are interested in investigating those locations, definitely get your tickets from them there. And pay attention to that website if you're interested in investigating with the team. I actually am a part of WISPs, and so that's the team that investigates. We do all kinds of private cases, do public hunts and things like that. So if you are interested in a public hunt, if you're wanting to go on a ghost hunt and don't have a team or don't want to go by yourself, pay attention to that website. If there's stuff coming up, I will definitely be announcing it and supporting the team that way. So pay attention for those dates, and if you hear of one that you want to go on that you're interested in, definitely get on and purchase your tickets and come on out. As far as the reading schedule goes, the reading schedule that we've kind of changed to is actually working out pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and stick with what I've done, where it will be Monday through Friday, all the time now. I will be available for appointment only at Synchronicities. I won't be in there hanging out. If there's a day that I really just kind of feel like going and spending the day in there, I will post that on the page and let everybody know. And I will let everybody know on the podcast the night before I do that. So if you want to do a reading with me, if you want to go and have that reading done in the space there at Synchronicities, let me know, schedule the appointment so that I can call Robin and get that on the schedule and make sure that there's going to be a room available for the day you want that reading done. Otherwise, you can get a hold of me. I'm more than happy to come out to you and come and read in a space that you are comfortable in, or you can also come to me and we can do a reading at my home. So any of those options, if you're looking for your reading, if you want to contact somebody, if you're looking for some direction, definitely get a hold of me and we'll schedule and get you helped out that way. I am offering group reading sessions besides the gallery readings. So if you are interested and you have a small group that would like me to come out and do a reading for you, contact me for the information for that, and I will give you the ticket prices, or the not necessarily ticket prices at that point, but the price per person for that, and we'll figure out a good space to do it. Either come to you, or we can do that at Synchronicities. I just need to know in advance. So those, as far as I can think of, that is everything I've got as far as that goes, guys. So if you have any questions, again, send me a chat in here. Shoot me a text, anything like that, and I'll answer questions as we go through the show. If you have questions after the show, you can always reach me as well. So don't be afraid to hit me up. If you have the question, somebody else probably does too. So let's go ahead and get into the topic for the night. And what I've decided tonight is where we've got the class coming up, and I'm going to start teaching the psychic development class. I wanted to cover that a little bit and give some information and kind of give the official start date and how to reserve your spot for that, because the response for that has been unbelievable. So definitely excited to get these classes rolling. So I'm going to officially start those classes on Monday. I will be doing them very personalized. So one of the questions that I've been messaged a couple of times now is, if I don't pay right now, am I going to miss out on it? Absolutely not. The only thing that I'm saying right now is I'm only going to offer it to 10 people at a time. And so once those 10 spaces are full, then I'll put you on a wait list. And as soon as somebody falls off that list, if somebody feels ready to be out on their own and doesn't necessarily want to do the course anymore, then I'll open it up to the, however many people I'm able to do. And if things are going really well and I'm able to manage helping out more people and getting more people enrolled, then I will let everybody know. So for right now, I'm just going to do it for 10 people. And that is going to be $35 a month. And if you are interested in being a part of that, I will start taking the money from those people that have already messaged me. I can start taking that money tomorrow. So if you're interested in reserving your space, I will get everything together. And that will give me time for the people that I know are wanting to be a part of the course. Will give me time to really connect with my guides and make sure that I'm going to have everything, all the information I need for you specifically to start working on your abilities. And I'm gonna kind of talk tonight a little bit throughout this episode about what abilities we may be working on and what the possibilities are as far as that goes. But if you have messaged me, if you've reached out to me and told me that you want to be a part of that class, then you will be involved in that class. And as far as getting the information to you, I can take the payment for that in a few ways. So there's always a way. If you need me to do it on PayPal, we can do that. If you need me to do it through Venmo, we can do that. We can do Facebook Pay. You can call me and we can do I can take a card into the Square app. I do have that option. If you are here local and you'd rather just pay me that way, we can do cash. I would rather not do checks just because I I don't want to run into any issues with anybody's accounts or anything like that. So I'm open to accepting card or cash, Venmo or PayPal right now. We can also do Facebook Pay if you want to do that as well. So that'll be $35 a month, and we'll start out. I've got a layout of the direction that I want to take the class, and if your particular, like I was telling a client tonight, that everybody's individual. Everybody is the course is going to be personalized to every single person that is a part of that class. So I may have a layout, and I do. I have a layout. I have points that I need followed, and we are laid out as steps that need to take place to get you opened up, get you connected, get you headed in the right direction. But if I'm working with you one-on-one, and I feel like we need to step forward or we need to step back or whatever, your individual course is not going to change somebody else's. I'm going to work with you completely one-on-one. We will schedule a time once a week for an hour, and we can do that on the phone. We can do it on Facebook chat. We can do it on video messenger. We can do it in person if you're local. We can do that however you would like. And we'll spend 1 hour, and we will work on the point that we are at. And, if you take a couple of steps in that week, or, say we do that and the first step is super easy for you and you've got it down really good, then message me and let me know, and we can step forward. I'm not afraid to step forward at a quick pace. And, I'm not signing contracts with anybody and saying you're bound to this for a year, because everybody's going to be different. So if it only takes us a month to really work through and get you open to where you feel comfortable working on your own, then that's what we do. If it takes a few months, then that doesn't necessarily mean you're slow. It doesn't mean that anything is bad. We're just working one-on-one until you are comfortable that you can do this on your own. And then at the end of the class, you still won't be on your own, because this is a community. This is not a, one-on-one self thing. It's something that we do as a group, and we all work together, and that's just how everything goes. So, if you have any questions on that, don't hesitate to message me. Don't hesitate to, shoot me a message or give me a call. And if you have any concerns about the class or about taking time, if something happens, you need to reschedule, just let me know. I'm willing to work with anybody in any situation. So, let's talk a little bit about abilities, because that was one question that I had asked is this class going to be for just the people that are going to see spirits? Definitely not. Absolutely not. Because each individual person has their own abilities. So this can be a class to help you open up and feel if you're an empath. This is a class that can help you open up and see if you are going to be a medium, if you're going to be a psychic. And so that's going to be something we're going to learn together. It's going to be something that we'll find out together, whether you are headed in the direction of just feeling and helping, working with energy. It's going to be, we'll be able to, we'll know really quickly where you're headed with your course. And then each course is going to be tailored to your specific abilities. So I'm not going to ask you to communicate with spirits if that's not the direction that you're headed, if that's not where you're at. Everybody's going to start off learning protection, learning grounding, learning how to connect with energy and with earth. That is step number one, ultimate, absolute requirement when it comes to doing any work in this field, anything at all. And then as we progress from there, things may change, and that's okay. That's part of experiencing this thing called energy work. It's not every two are the same, and that's the beauty of it. If we were all the same, then we would have a whole world of the same old, and not enough people doing anything else. So, as far as different types of abilities, let me help you understand that, because that can make a difference. So, as an empath, you are going to be the feelers. The empaths of the world are the people who are natural healers, and you may be aware that you do it, and you may not be aware, so feeling the energy around you, feeling people around you, is just natural. That's just how your life has always been. There are people who are empaths and don't know it. But they do know that they can walk into a room and know when the environment's bad. They know that they can walk into the room and know who's happy, who's sad, who's mad, just by walking in the room and feeling it. And then if you are a medium, and you are those who are able to see, you may have already done so and not even known it. And you may have done so and you did know it, and it absolutely terrified you because you didn't understand. And that's what this course is designed for. This course is designed to help you understand what it is that you're already experiencing, or to help you to get to a level where you can experience what you feel you should be doing and what you feel you're destined to do. Some people are going to be a little bit nervous, and it's something new, and that's okay. It's something different. And, it used to be, when I first started doing this, that it was not the norm, that it was not something that happened. It's not something that we talked about. Times have changed, and now it's becoming a little more normal. And thanks to people like Chip Coffey and Teresa Caputo and Elizabeth Warren, Lorraine Warren and Ed Warren and John Zaffis, and the forefront people that have really stepped out and shown people that it is okay to do what we do. Nobody really talked about investigating ghosts until Ghost Hunters came out and started showing that, look, this is a very common thing to have haunted locations. So it's more talked about now. It's more accepted. And, it still kind of makes things weird in some situations, but you learn to read the room. You learn to feel when it's all right to talk about it. And, as a medium, when you're communicating with spirits, sometimes, like the Long Island medium, Teresa Caputo, in some situations, you really get pushed. You really get begged to talk to people. And so if that's the case, you deal with it accordingly. And so we can discuss that in the course as well, as to how to handle that situation. And, I don't really walk up to people. I mean, if I'm in the store and I'm getting pestered by a spirit, which does happen, I won't really reach out to the person that they belong to, for several reasons. When I go to the store, I don't want to be bothered. And I can't imagine a lot of people feel differently. So, I don't reach out like that. If it comes up, if somebody that I've seen that I'm like, I know that they're spirits have reached out to me in a different location, then I'm more than happy to talk. But you learn how to acknowledge that they're there and let them very respectfully know that this is not the time or place, and so we're not going to do this right now. And, I've not really had a situation where I've felt like it was urgent. I've had a couple of situations where I have definitely reached out to people and said, look, I'm continuously being bugged by this person, and I just wanted to relay the message. Whether it fits or not is, that's for you to decide. But that's few and far between. And the reason for that is some people, it's a boundary issue. It's not really the time or place. And if they want the contact, if they want the information, then they'll ask for it. If they haven't asked for it, then it's not really my place to relay that message. If it is, an urgent message, if it's life or death, or if it's, in the case of somebody just recently passing, where they say, if this person needs to know I'm okay, and it will help them in their grieving, then absolutely, I will reach out to somebody and say, hey, I just heard from this person and they want you to know that they're doing fine, that they've crossed, they're at peace. So those are all things that I can just kind of teach on. It's something that you have to learn when you're in the situation, how you are going to handle it as a person. But, as the gifted one, I guess you can say, but it's not it's not a requirement to do that. So don't feel like if you open up and you have somebody contact you, that's a requirement. So like I said at the beginning, one of the first things is learning to protect and ground yourself. And those cases, if you're not protected, if you're not grounded, can definitely throw you for a loop. So it's extremely important for any contact, whether you're investigating, whether you're at home, whatever, to make sure that you're grounded, to make sure that you are balanced, and make sure that you're ready for that contact. There is definitely going to be a structure to how the classes run. The first appointment, I will make contact with your spirit guide and get direction from them on anything additional, whether it be certain teaching ways that are going to help you learn better, whether it be, this is the structure that you have, but we need to kind of turn a couple things around, whatever. I'm going to reach out to them. If you are already somewhat open, if you're already starting to work on your abilities yourself and you're just looking for some direction, I'm going to make sure that you contact your spirit guides in that first session. Within the first month, that's definitely something I want to help you achieve. And some people may be already talking to their guides and not know it. If you're having dreams of family members or of friends or of the same person that you may not know who they are, you're already being contacted. If you go into a certain room or you go into a certain environment and you already feel the presence of somebody, you may already be getting contacted and just not know how to handle it or not know how to recognize who they are. So I want to make sure that one of the first things we do is introduce you to the person or people, the spirits that are going to be there to help guide you through the process. Because once you're familiar with their energy, then you will be able to understand and recognize when you really need to pay attention and when a situation may happen. One of the greatest things that's going to come out of that is I get warnings all the time. Being open and walking into an environment, if it's really heavy when I walk in, I know I need to be extra guarded. I know I need to be extra aware of what's going on and, pay attention to everything around me, everybody around me. If I walk into a room and certain people are alerting me, and they may not even know it, but some people do. So, that's something that we're going to work on is understanding whether it be a feeling like that, whether it be, you can feel the energy levels. One client that I've been working with, Tanisha, I'm going to use you as an example because I know you're listening. Working with her, she was able to feel a difference in energy and feel when it was heavy versus feel when it was light. Before, when she couldn't do that, she could feel energy, but she didn't know really which direction to go with it. And so having that direction and having the understanding of the difference has already helped. And it's already making her more aware and making her more comfortable when dealing with energy and spirits. And that's really what this is all about. I mean, it's a community of people. There are literally thousands in Utah and in the surrounding area that you could reach out to, that you could be friends with, that can give you help and give you guidance. So if you learn a little bit from me and take a step, and then you go learn from somebody else and take another step, I'm all for it. I'm absolutely all for it. If learning from me isn't giving you kind of the direction that you were hoping for, or giving you the information that you felt you needed, I'm happy to introduce you to other mediums that I'm aware of that may have a different teaching style that can help you take some other steps in another direction. For those of you that are energy healers, I can feel energy, and I use my energy when I've been asked to, or when I'm directed to in a reading, but I don't do energy healing. And so if you're going to be an energy healer, I know people that are energy workers, that are energy healers, that I can introduce you to. And I can send you their direction and say, they need to learn how to work on it, how to work with energy, and how to do healing. And people are more than happy to help you. It's all a matter of feeling out your individual needs and filling out where everything fits. So, a little bit about that, that there's a lot that really is going to be determined by our first session, by getting into the class and sitting down, and we can really put together a game plan on what you need, where you're already at, and where to take the next step to help you out. And so that's why I'm not really setting a time frame or a contract or anything like that, because it doesn't suit everybody's needs for me to set a particular schedule with a particular outline, with a particular direction, with whatever, when everybody is so individual and everybody's level and energy level and learning level is so different. We were talking a little bit, as far as classes go and as far as learning goes. I've had a couple of clients this week that were asking about going on an investigation, and is it safe to do so first opening up? And it depends on the location that you go to. I'm not going to say it's going to be dangerous, because your natural defense as a medium or as an empath is to feel the situation. And if you don't feel comfortable, people with abilities, we don't really stay in a situation that we're not comfortable or that doesn't feel right. It's just one of our natural defenses. So, could it be dangerous? Sure, absolutely. Any location could be dangerous. If you get with the right group of people and you get with the wrong group of people, it could be. They're not, but they're not going to be dangerous in the sense that you're going to get hurt. It's going to be dangerous in the sense that you may go into a place like Benson Grist Mill and have a whole bunch of things happen and set an expectation that that's the worst that it's going to get. That's the most active. That's the most energy level that it's going to get to. And then you're going to go into a situation with a much higher energy level with way more active spirits, with way more spirits, with, more negative entities. And your expectation level was set low because you went into a baseline investigation. Or the opposite is also true. You're going to go into an investigation. It's going to be a really nasty case. It's going to be full of really nasty spirits, full of really nasty energy. And it kind of sets your expectation that that's what investigations are going to be like. So that's another thing that we can work on too, is as we're getting you opened up, as we're getting people to a level that they're comfortable, we'll find a location and we'll go investigate it. I want to teach people how to open up, but I want you to do the work. I don't want it to be something where I bring you in and we go in and I get you opened up and I get you protected and I get everything done, and then you have no idea how to do that or how to protect yourself or anything like that, and then get you into an environment and expect you to know what I just did. Everybody's going to do their own work. Everybody's going to learn to protect themselves, to ground themselves, to open your third eye, to see the environment, to communicate with your guides, feel the energy in the room and know what's good and what's not good. Everybody's going to learn how to achieve the next level. So you're going to start out at a base level, and then you're going to learn how to go a little bit higher and a little bit higher. You're going to learn how to, ground out basic, and then you're going to take the next step and learn how to really deeply ground yourself so that nothing will make you sway. And we're going to take it one step at a time. You got to crawl before you walk. You got to walk before you run. So every step that we take, you're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to feel better about your abilities. You're going to feel better about knowing that you're doing it, not me. You're going to feel better knowing that when you made that contact, you know that you heard the information. You know that you got told and followed through on what your guides want you to do. It's going to be so amazing to watch everybody learn, everybody develop, and everybody find their own feet. I've had a few people message me and say, well, what if I don't know? What if I have a hard time believing or trusting that it's spirit contact and not myself? Well, coming from somebody who everything is all internal and it's not an actual visual or auditory communication form, I understand that. I've been there. And so for people like that, I can help you out. I can help you understand that, I really had to get to a point where it wasn't a question, where I knew I didn't have that thought because I don't think that way. I didn't write that because I don't write that way. And when you get to a point where you can believe in the information and you can trust in the information that you're getting, it makes relaying that information so much easier. And even if it doesn't fit, For anybody that's had a reading from me and been, on an investigation with me, if the information doesn't fit, it doesn't mean that it wasn't real. It just means that it was somebody else. And learning to put that aside and say, listen, you come back on another investigation, you come back on another reading, and we'll find your home, but you don't belong here. And trusting that it wasn't just you shooting in the dark or making up something. Because I'm going to tell you, in the 12 years of doing this, if somebody comes up in an investigation or in a reading and they don't belong in that place or that time, they do come up. I'm going to tell you right now, they do come up. So, I'm excited for this class, guys. I'm excited to get working with everybody. I'm excited to see kind of where everybody falls in, where the development is. I've had a blast getting to this point. For everybody that is supporting, that is loving and liking this podcast and the live broadcast now, thank you 100% everybody for your support. This is not at all possible without the followers, without the support, without the messages. We're starting to get a busier schedule of readings and events and starting to plan bigger, better things. And none of that's at all possible without every one of you following and helping out. So thank you so much for everybody that listens, that follows. All of your suggestions, guys, I put to you. So if you send me a message to correct something that I might have said in a podcast or in a live event, you have questions, all of that I address at the very next topic. So, and if it doesn't fit in the next broadcast, I'd be sure to give you credit for the suggestion, for the information. So, if you have anything, if you have questions, if you have any concerns, if you've got suggestions on things to make the broadcast better, to make topics better, if there's anybody that you want to hear, if you want to hear a guest speaker or hear a topic on one of these shows, send me a message, give me a text, give me a phone call. Any of those things work. I respond to everybody as quickly as I can. If I have a schedule like I did today, it might take a little bit, but I will get to you that day. So anybody that is wanting to reserve their spot to be a part of this upcoming class, 5 of you have messaged me and told me you were interested. Starting tomorrow morning, as soon as I get the money for that class from you, I will hold your spot in those 10. And if we can't get you in right now, don't panic, because just because it's 10 right now doesn't mean in a few weeks from now it won't be 15. If we're getting that much interest and the classes are going smoothly enough, and I'm able to work with everybody and manage where everybody's at, then I may add a few more spots to that. So if you don't get in right now, don't get upset because I do want to help you out. So we'll find a way to make it happen. It's been amazing, guys. Thank you so much, everybody, for listening in tonight. Thank you for everybody that has liked the page. If you have not liked the page by now, jump onto Facebook, The Life of a Utah Medium. Go ahead and like the page. I put all the events, all the details for investigations and everything on that page. And if you're not already listening to the podcast, we are live on The Life of a Utah Medium. Everybody have a wonderful night. We will do a podcast again tomorrow night. Bye-bye.